Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create nice seamless rooms and walls, hallways, uh, without the snap tool because there is none. Um, yeah, it's not a hard concept to learn, but there are some things you should look out for. But yeah, you should be able to create pretty much anything you want with perfect symmetry. So while you rotate stuff like that, you can create perfect spacing between jumps, or perfect spacing between jumps and also change the elevation but keep everything the same. Uh, Create columns. Like, this is good for multiplayer maps, but like I said, these tutorials are mostly going to be for escape maps. Okay, so to start off, you're going to want to use this ground base 7 and also ground base 3 or whatever wall you want. But so this top part, we're good to go because it starts off like that. But you're going to want to copy and paste down, and this is the only one that's going to snap, or it should. So that's also good to go. It's going to be a little bit off, but I wouldn't even worry about it. It's a-okay by my book. This one is the one that you're going to want to pay attention to the most. You're going to try to line it up and make it parallel with this ground base 7, and it's never going to be completely perfect, but if you can get it to I don't know, like trying to get it so it's a little bit. Okay, this is you get my idea. It's hard, but I mean even this is pretty good. So once you have these three things, you can get rid of that. You're all set in terms of making something like this. Um, if you want to use it the vertical way, you just rotate this oops, this way, and if it doesn't snap, just bring it towards the ground over here. And like I said, you're always going to want reference, and the ground is a perfect reference for this thing here. And it does take some time figuring out this stuff, but yeah, there we go. So that's how you do that. Um, Another thing you should know about if you're going to, like for instance, make a floor bigger or a ceiling bigger, is you're going to have a lot of this crap where it's stuttering and glitching through. And that's because they're just competing with each other. They're on the same... They're trying to do the same thing, which I don't know why this engine does this or whatever. But how you fix that is you just grab it, make sure your camera's at 1x, and just very slowly bring it up once, and it fixes it right there. And actually well, I guess you can move it up a little more. Sometimes you have to play around with it. So then once you have it, you fix once. This one here is the same as that. So this one that's higher is actually going to counter out the two. So you only have to do it once, if you caught what I was saying there. So you don't actually have to do this one again because it's the duplicate. So yeah, so now trying to create hallways like this, it's a little more ambiguous, but you just create this here and another one, and like I said, you want to make this nice and symmetrical for people, especially if it's an escape map. You never want to confuse players because of your sloppiness or whatever, which I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but do the best you can. So you bring another, like I said, this reference point to keep these the same variation, and you copy and paste and you bring it to this middle one. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is totally fine. And you deselect this one and delete it. That way this one doesn't change, because that's going to be your reference point for pretty much the whole thing. And you just, repeat the same process, etc., etc. But it's not, like perfect, but it's pretty damn good. And you can do that for columns. Keep the reference point as a wall, whatever wall you want. But there's that. And then also, For the jumps, same concept, but if you want to do alterations in height, all you have to do is actually, let me go grab one of these. You just move one up, however one you want, make sure you test it out, it works. And you basically do the same thing, but just make sure you only bring it height up. There we go. Again, that wasn't perfect, but it'll do for this tutorial. And that's how you do that. So pretty easy stuff, but you gotta make sure you do it right if you want your map to look somewhat decent. Yeah, this thing over here, exact same concept. You just rotate it once, however what you want, and then duplicate and remove the middle part. It's just sloppy, but yeah, you get the picture, and then you just keep on trucking. And to be fair, sometimes it's not going to connect perfectly, and that's a bitch, but you can figure it out if you're smart. So anyways, yeah, that's tutorial. And also, there is on that, if you search for map template on Xbox, you'll get 2 rooms, this platform and the green platform, all angles, all perfect. So if you just want to start from a map, just start fresh, but you don't want to, have to do all this rotating in the beginning, just download that map and you'll basically be able to do your own rooms and it'll be all symmetrical from the start.